And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Business Wellness Community and our Let's Chat series today. I've got Renee Manning, I want to say on the line, but she's not on the line. She's on the screen. So Renee, I sounded like a DJ then, didn't I?
You did a little bit.
I've got Renee coming on today to chat. And Renee has an amazing business. We were just having a quick chat just before we went live. And her business, she works in human design. And I don't even want to talk about it because I could never explain it the way she does. It's amazing. So Renee, I'm going to pass it across to you to tell us about what you do, what your business does, and a little bit about what human design is.
Sure, I'd love to. My favorite topic. I found myself years ago, it all started, I actually worked on yachts, motor yachts, serving the rich and famous.
Oh.
I did that for a really long time. I loved to be in service, but there was a part of me that I felt was missing. I wasn't healthy. I was working all the time. I just, my heart wasn't fulfilled. And I needed a way to get out of that industry and recreate, because that industry was everything that I knew. And my family, like community, were there because I worked with all of my co-workers, lived with them. It was my home. It was my financial security. It was a career that I'd built over 9 years. So I had this, I didn't want to leave. I was scared to leave, and I knew I needed to go and find myself. So I actually decided to quit, leave everything and start over. And I found myself back in Bali doing that sort of like a eat, pray, love journey in a way.
Yeah.
And I went for a healing, and human design does this. It finds you at the right moment.
Yeah.
So as soon as you get lit up by it, that's the moment that human design has wisdom for you. And this was about 8 years ago that I stumbled across this system. And it was delivered to me from these two sisters that did healing. And they were like, what's your birth date? I'll look it up. What's your birth time? And then it brought up this map. Like it looked like a body map, and all of these centers were like lit up with color, and there was all of these channels, and I was absolutely fascinated about it.
Yeah.
And I discovered that I'm what's called a 6-2. Now, the originator of human design, the person that delivered human design to the world, Ra, he actually said that 6s are the ones that will bring this knowledge to the world. And it just resonated with me so much, because I felt myself just go, oh, this is the most fascinating thing that I've ever witnessed.
Yeah.
And I pretty much, after that, I went into it and started looking deeper, because human design literally maps out who you are, like all of your different archetypes and patterns and beliefs and everything, the way that you exchange energy with, the world.
Yeah.
And then it also has in there your purpose.
Yeah.
What
so like a cosmic blueprint almost, would you say?
It's a cosmic blueprint.
Yeah, I love it.
It tells you how to do life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that, I started practicing it. And I did what everybody does, actually. I started to try and understand it from the mind, because it's such a complex system.
Yeah.
There's so much information there that I tried to figure it out. But that's what human design doesn't want you to do. It wants you to start embodying it. It wants you to get out of the head, out of the ego, and back into the heart, back into the body, and start making choices from the body. Because the body knows the direction you need to go. The body is the thing that has the memories. The body is the thing that can lead you to destiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
The mind is, as Sharon, from your work, the mind is the ego.
Yeah.
Exactly. The body always knows.
Yeah.
And it was just such a beautiful journey once I discovered about human design, because it gave me permission to be myself.
Yeah, it's so amazing. And we were just chatting just before the the live came on, and I can see there's a few people watching. So if you do have questions, pop them in the comments. But we were just chatting before we went on, and I met Renee I'm going to say a few weeks ago, but it was maybe a few months ago on an online forum. And I was like, what is this human design thing? This sounds really interesting. So I went and Google searched it. And then when I started searching, of course, it all started coming up in my Facebook feed. And every time I went onto a website, it was there. And I was like, okay, this is listening. So I did a little test, and I have to find it, and I'll let you know what mine came out as, because when I read it, I went, oh, wow, no wonder my previous role and job that I had didn't serve me, because I wasn't aligned to it. And now what I'm doing, I'm so aligned to that human design test. It was like, do you know me? Who is this person? Do they know who I am? It was freaky because it was so accurate. I could not believe it. And I just felt to myself, God, I'm in the right place. Like, I'm just in the right place now with what I'm doing. Exactly.
Yes,
so
exactly. And that's what I love about, because I also study and work with astrology. But what I find with human design is it teaches you how to live life, like how to live each and every day. Not that astrology doesn't do that. It does teach you how to navigate.
Yeah.
But this gives you, it teaches you about an inbuilt tool, our inner compass, how we make decisions each and every day that are unique to you as an individual.
Yeah.
And I love that, because suddenly you start trusting yourself again. And you start realizing that nobody else has authority over you. You have authority.
Yeah.
And suddenly you become the creator rather than listening to others and not trusting yourself.
And I talk a lot about, and people probably get sick to death of hearing me say, is that your body knows what it wants, but your mind does not necessarily know that. So it comes back to that part of the soul. And we were just talking about, it's like a cosmic blueprint of your life. So it really resonates with me a lot. I love it. So tell us, how do you work with people with this particular tool? I'm going to call it, it's a really powerful tool, but how do you work with people with human design if they come to see you?
I do individual sessions, but I also do a little bit of a course where I take you through each step, because human design is so big.
Yeah.
And you can get overwhelmed with the information that's out there. And so I sort of take people on a bit of a quest where I've matched my old life working on yachts.
Yeah.
And using analogies from that and blending it with human design. So I take you on this little voyage.
Yeah.
I teach you how to read the map. I teach you how to work with your inner compass. I teach you how to work with the vehicle, which is your body. I teach you how to work with the driver, which is the captain and the crew, the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
I teach you how to work with the water, which is the emotions.
I
teach you how to work with the lighthouse, which is the intuition.
Yeah.
And so I've done it in a way that I understand the mind can grasp it.
Yeah. So using the metaphor. And I love how you've connected it back to your yachting days.
Yeah, but this is what human design teaches you as well. It's like bringing what your journey is, what's signature to you, how you're unique, how you have medicine that nobody else has. And when you try to live somebody else's life, it's not signature to you. It's like with you, with what you offer. Yeah. That's just so beautiful. And now you feel completely in alignment because you're not living somebody else's truth. It's yours. Yeah. And that's beautiful. Where that energy vibrates and people feel that. Yeah. People know that you can heal them and work with them. Yeah. So that's what I do with human design. I teach you that you are unique. Yeah, that's beautiful. How to live your own truth, how to work with your design, how to forgive yourself for trying to be somebody else that you weren't ever meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're so conditioned. I take it all the way back to, if we knew this as, if people knew this as parents and could guide their children from the beginning, I don't think we would have half the conflict and self-doubt and not being able to empower yourself.
Yeah.
You understand your strengths and your gifts from the very beginning, and you encouraged to be that.
Yeah. And imagine if we did this when our children are born, to know what their human design is, how we could work with them.
Yeah, I work with a lot of people that do this.
Ah, is that right? That's really interesting.
And I just think, oh, wow, the world is changing, and it's changing for the better.
Yeah.
And we're going living from our own uniqueness.
Yeah. And let's talk a little bit about that, because we did touch a little bit on that just in the pre-chat we had about the universe and everything else. Do you want to talk?
Each of us have a mission.
Yeah.
Whether people believe in that or not, I definitely believe in it through working with human design, and also the steps that I've taken along the way. Each step led me to really what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So I needed to trust deeply that there was a path that I needed to take to awaken to my highest potential.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people feel that. I also do breath work, and my breath work classes are something that's very different. And this is because I show up the way that I was designed to.
Yeah.
You know, and people feel that energy, really feel that energy. And that's where they can grow and feel, giving them permission to also be themselves. Yeah. So each of us are given a cosmic blueprint.
Yeah.
And when you align to that, then suddenly everything starts falling into place. Life starts to happen for you instead of having this idea that it's happening to us.
Yeah.
So we start to become the co-creator. Suddenly our body starts to repair.
Yeah.
Our mind is not getting stuck in these habitual thinking patterns.
Yeah.
We're starting to radiate happiness and joy and following the voice of our heart.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I've got some signature keys because it's based off 64 keys.
Okay.
Each of us are, I believe, are the gatekeepers for these keys. So the way that you see the world, Sharon, is very different to the way that I see it because of the way that I am designed.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm like, the more you talk, the more fascinated I am.
Yes, exactly.
I just love this because I'm with you. I've got a few friends that I chat with that have different thoughts and different ideas, and some people go, oh God, that's so ridiculous. But I just love this whole concept of we're here for a purpose, because I agree. I feel like we're here for a purpose. We're here for a mission or a journey or whatever it is that we're here for. We're here for a lesson, maybe.
Yes.
We're here to help maybe an individual or many individuals. But knowing what that particular role for us is, I really do believe that as well.
Exactly.
And saying that to some people, they just look at you like you're a weirdo, and that's okay because we all have our own belief system, like what you said. So I believe what I believe, and that's great. Same with you, same with everybody else. But when I can connect with the people that do have that similar belief system, it's almost like the conversation just opens up to another level.
Yes, exactly. And to know that we're guided and that each of us have a purpose. And when we really align to that, how fulfilled you feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Know, who doesn't want that? Like when people do scoff at some of my beliefs, I don't even need to say anything because I'm so secure within myself. I'm so aligned within myself that I think you're the person that's missing out on this joy that I feel now. I didn't feel that before. I felt lost. I felt like I had zero direction. I felt I had nothing to offer. I didn't know my gifts.
Yeah.
And human design taught me how gifted I really am, but I just wasn't aligning it to the right things.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, because I was talking to you just before, and in my previous role, so I used to be an accountant of all things, believe it or not. Every day I would go to work and I'd come home and I'd feel like there was something missing, or I'd forgotten to do something. And I'd get home and think, oh, what is it I've forgotten to do? I don't know. And I'd be stressing out and thinking or overthinking about it because I just didn't know what it was. And then I'd go to work the next day and think, no, checklist, everything's done. What I realized when I actually left that job, what I'd forgotten to do was be me. I'd forgotten that. And that was what was missing. It was like myself that was missing, not anything to do with that job that I had. It was just me that was missing. And once I reconnected back with that, and I didn't even know about this at the time, it was almost like this life epiphany. And this was not even that, maybe 7 years ago, this happened to me, which is not that long ago. But once I started going down that road and getting rid of the old patterns and the old work life and getting into this new space, it was almost like, far out, how did I not know this was around?
I know, but you do have to go through all those lessons though, don't you, to understand it. Like even the hardest lessons, I wouldn't trade it in for anything, because human design even teaches you that everything is set up
for a reason.
It's bringing these people, these situations, these circumstances to build these muscles in order for us to get to the highest vibration. Like my incarnation cross, which is literally what talks about your purpose in human design. This doesn't actually eventuate until later in life. So we need certain steps and certain to understand different keys and different values in order to step into that path. So it's almost like you stop trying to force life to happen and just allowing it to flow. This system teaches you to come into communion with life.
It's beautiful.
That's what I love about it. So I was like, wow, I can only speak for myself, like coming from yachts, it's very masculine. I had to, everything was organized, everything was controlled. I was a chief stew on there. And I had no idea how much I was like that. I didn't understand it until I started working on retreats in Bali. And then I'm like, oh, I'm just so, you know, rigid. And then this system I've watched as I've brought it into my life, I've become so feminine. Suddenly everything is in flow. Like people are making, because I'm also working for Gaia Retreat now.
Oh, okay.
Olivia Newton-John's retreat center.
Oh, wow.
And it's very much about really understanding how much everything is connected. Not given anything that we can't handle. It's really coming back into the heart.
I love that.
And I as you can tell, I
you love it.
Talking about it.
I know. When you find your, I guess, your life path, I'm going to call it that, it's almost, and I just said this before, it's almost like you never go to work another day in your life because you're just doing what just sits with you here.
Exactly.
And it's just beautiful.
Yes. Exactly.
And do you work with business people or individuals, or just a bit of a mix of both, or what's your preference in?
I have worked with business people before. Not necessarily for business. Like what I actually do first is teach them their design and how they can apply that to business. Because it's really important. It's very much about understanding the foundation.
Knowing you first.
Yes, you have to understand you first to understand why you might be attracting certain clients. Like even human design teaches you, we have voices of the throat. So even using a certain language will bring in clients.
Ah, really?
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Like just understanding what energy you are gifting the world and what you need to receive from the world and how you can show up for clients or in business.
Yeah, yeah.
Understanding your deep conditioning as well. We call it the not self in human design.
Yeah.
That this is where you're taught to be something that you're not, and you continue to show up in that way.
Yeah.
Which could be hijacking your business.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like understanding that and going deeper into that and investigating that and understanding it, and then you can work with it.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm like
really
even more intrigued now after this conversation. So I encourage anybody who's interested to chat with Renee about this. It just sounds like an amazing thing to know about you and yourself. I don't know. I can't really say. I'm a little bit like speechless almost because it's just processing through my head. But it just sounds amazing. So what's the best tip you could give anybody that's listening right now or watching on the replay later on? What's the best tip you could give about this particular style of learning, like the human design learning?
It's just literally, it puts you back in touch with this inner GPS, the inner compass. Right? So you can start making healthy decisions that are aligned to your purpose.
Yeah, beautiful.
And when we align to our purpose, then suddenly everything fits. We don't feel like we're out of place in the world. We feel like we have a place. We feel like we are on path. We feel connected. Our relationships improve because we know ourselves so well. Yeah, that we complement people rather than there's friction, because otherwise we're bringing in different people to teach us about ourselves. Yeah, you know, that's what happens, and we get this victim mentality where this person is attacking me, they're hurting me. But when you learn about yourself and understand through the lens of human design, you start understanding that these amazing people are coming into your life to help you with growth. Yeah. And so you start to nurture those relationships. You start to look at them and go, what did I learn? How is this serving me in my design? Yeah. So it's a sort of, it's a way for you to, as I said, give yourself permission to just be yourself. Stop trying to be someone else. Just show up the exact way that you were designed to. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. We're at the end of our talk just about, and I know there's been a couple of people online. We didn't have any particular questions, so that's okay. We may get some in the replays, but if you've got anything that you've got coming up or any events or anything that you'd like to share, I'll get you to pop them in the chat after the talk's over. Yeah. And anybody that's on the page, if you want to pop over to Renee's group, I'll get her to pop her group in the chat as well, and please connect with her, because I find it just such a fascinating topic to talk about. I love all of the things about the mind, and I know with art therapy we really connect into that, the subconscious mind, a lot as well. And as I said earlier, your body knows what your body needs to know, but our mind just doesn't connect to that. So being able to connect the two together and just draw that out, it's just such a beautiful thing. It really is. For us in our life. And lots of people, I think, get a little fearful of doing things like this. I know with art therapy, lots of people I talk to say, no, I can't do it because I'm not good at drawing. And what if you just came in with just such an open mind that nothing you could ever do you'd be scared of? Just come in and give things a go. Yes. That's what I always encourage people. Just come in like a 5-year-old child that has no fear and just do it. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And that's what life is. It's an experiment.
Yeah. Just what's the worst that could happen if you give it a go?
Exactly. It's all about just saying yes to life.
Yeah, that's it.
What's showing up for me?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting. So Renee, it's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you,
I love
Sharon.
it. I just have loved this chat so much, and I hope everybody else has as well. If you want to know anything, yep, just get in touch with Renee through her page or directly with her, or you can message me and I can pass the message on to her, either way. And I look forward to seeing you online and chatting with you again, maybe.
Yeah.
on
Yes,
another
you
thing.
have to share with me your design.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I can do a little mini reading for you.
Yeah, I would.
That's super important.
I would love that, actually.
Yeah.
I would love that. I
Yeah.
think that'd be really interesting to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you have many aha moments.
Yeah.
You're like, uh-huh. How do you know this?
Yeah, I know. You're reading my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
I love
it.
All right, beautiful. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Renee, for
All
chatting.
right. Thanks, Sharon.
And I'll just stop the recording.